This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Good evening, I'm Callum Proctor. A Dunedin High School student has given international researchers and her science teachers a run for their money after having her work published in the Journal of Medical Ethics. Year 12 St Hilda's collegiate student Izzy Robertson is the youngest person to ever be published in the journal.
16-year-old Izzy Robertson remembers the moment she found out she had achieved the seemingly impossible, becoming a contributor to the Journal of Medical Ethics.
I was actually on a school biology trip, and I was on the bus and we're going in and out of coverage, and I got this email but I wouldn't download, and I saw it was like Journal of Medical Ethics, like decision on paper. And the thing wouldn't load, so I was on this bus.
She is the first high school student to be published in the top-ranked bioethics journal. Robertson's paper examines the ethical arguments for altering people's genes to make them live longer. She tackled the topic after discovering she disagreed with Australian bioethicist Julian Savulescu's point of view on genome editing.
We should make our children smarter, more beautiful, more athletic, like let's just go for it. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if he's quite on the money there.
She looked at longitudinal studies and found the biggest contributing factor to unhappiness in the elderly was isolation.
So the procedure is expensive and the pregnancy obviously has to be planned. So it's always going to be a very small minority of the population. So majority of people's friends and circle of acquaintances won't have this gene. So a lot of them are going to end up being isolated because all their friends are going to die off, and they're going to have this extra 30 years of life where they are socially isolated.
Robertson also tested her hypothesis by sharing it with her friends.
And then I asked the question, okay, if majority of your friends wouldn't have this thing, would you still like to live another 30 years? And at that point, a lot of them were like, no.
She says Savulescu, who also edits the journal, has congratulated her, but hasn't conceded he's been one-upped just yet.
He's like, oh, well, I'm glad you stuck to your argument. So he hasn't I haven't convinced him.
The piece is already published online and will be presented as a physical copy in the next 2 or 3 issues. Roselle Lebone, The South Today.
Gareth Morgan's Opportunities Party has released a policy that proposes raising the alcohol purchase age from 18 to 20. It also wants alcohol excise tax increased to a level that would put up prices by 10%. The purchase age was lowered from 20 to 18 in 1999. Parliament voted on it again in 2012 and decided to keep it at 18. Morgan says lowering the age has caused an increase in harm to young people through motor vehicle accidents and mental and other health issues. Well, the British and Irish Lions left Queenstown for Auckland today, ahead of the third and final test against the All Blacks on Saturday. Before leaving, the team braved sub-zero temperatures to have a final run on the John Davies Oval. And Mina Amso was there.
The Lions squad hit the ground running earlier this morning, training at Queenstown's John Davies Oval in preparation for their third and final test against the All Blacks this Saturday at Eden Park in Auckland. Sub-zero temperatures added that extra freshness to the Lions' training. The British media has been questioning the wisdom of the side's timeout in Queenstown. This was the response of Lions head of strength and conditioning, Paul Stregan.
We've run this blueprint with Warren a few times, so we did it in 09 with Keach and Warren, did it in 13, we've done it in Wales a couple of times, we did it in one of the big World Cup weeks in Wales, and it paid off for us. So whenever we've done it, we've performed well, so we did it from experience. And we think with this group of players where we're at, we went over it on Saturday to revisit it and see if it was still what we wanted to do, even though we had it in the plan. And we all agreed that it was the best for the team.
Stregan says 2 days spent in Queenstown helped the team clear their minds and get much needed R&R.
The boys will benefit more than you can imagine from this 2 days. They've got a bit of their own time. rather than eating in the hotel together, because we've done everything together, and because we have to speed up the gelling process, because we get guys meeting each other at the start of tour who've never met each other, and then play a game the week after together. So we've been doing all of that, but now we've given the boys, they get a bit of money rather than eat in the hotel, and they can go and have lunch in small groups or go out with the family. I think we'll get a big positive effect from that.
The squad spent the day yesterday recovering in Queenstown, some shopping and posing for photographs with Lion fans. The Lions headed to Auckland this afternoon to continue their preparation for the decider test on Saturday at Auckland's Eden Park. Mina Anso, The South Today.
Work to repair parts of Highcliffe Road affected by slips will begin on July 17th. The DCC says the road will be closed between Camp Road and Seaton Road until September 29th, with residents-only access. The major project is to repair damage caused by 3 slips which happened earlier this year and in the 2015 storm event. The Dunedin City Council is also taking the opportunity to improve the road's resilience and general safety. DCC Transport Delivery Manager Josh Von Payne says culverts in the road closure zone will be replaced as part of the project. In the 5-year period from 2012 to 16, 28 vehicle crashes were reported on Highcliffe Road. Well, Dunedin home values are continuing the upward trend in value seen over the past 18 months. Quotable Value NZ says the market's seemingly unaffected by recent loan-to-value ratio or LVR restrictions, which are affecting sales volumes in other parts of the country.
The average value of a property in Dunedin City is now $375,371. Home values in the city have risen by more than 14% in the year since June 2016. Figures released by Quotable Value NZ this morning show property prices in Dunedin are 3.2% higher than they were just 3 months ago, and values are now 31% above the previous peak in 2007. QV Home Value Dunedin valuer Aidan Young says demand remains strong in the Dunedin market, and there is currently a shortage of properties listed for sale. However, he says this is typical for the winter months. The nationwide property trend shows lending restrictions are tightening the housing market, as banks and lending institutions require higher deposits. Property investors are required to have a 40% deposit for additional property purchases. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, another Central Otago ski field opens for the winter, and Timaru school students witness firsthand the shocking reality of drink driving.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Highcliffe Valley Road. Visit www.garador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
We're a 25 Moray place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
How about these? Stretch moleskins by Lee Ryder. 7 colours, 2 leg lengths, Very comfortable, warm, extremely durable and only $79.90.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Silverhorn Active Manuka Honey from the natural Manuka forests of New Zealand. Buy 1 250-gram pot for $34.90 and get a second pot for half price. Order online at silverhorn.co.nz.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street. Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Kiwi Country, an hour of country music from today and yesterday. Sunday 4 p.m, repeating Friday 10 p.m.
Welcome back. A search by Oamaru Police at a Tweed Street address on Monday uncovered stolen items worth thousands of dollars. The haul included knives, petrol containers, a car, dozens of keys and several camouflage jackets. Sergeant Tony Woodbridge says officers arrested a 45-year-old Oamaru man and charged him with unlawfully taking a motor vehicle and a historic burglary in Greta Street, Oamaru. He was due to appear in the Oamaru District Court today. Thanks to the bad weather over the last few days, the Treble Cone ski field near Wanaka has opened for the season. The mountains west of Wanaka have a healthy coating of snow for the first time this winter, meaning the long wait for Treble Cone to open came to an end today. And the ski field celebrated by providing the first 30 people on the lifts with the Treble Cone survival pack, and the weather gods contributed to some beautiful spring-like weather conditions. Well, Opihi College pupils have seen firsthand the impact of drink driving after witnessing a mock car crash at the school recently. Rachel Comer was there.
The demonstration involved emergency services staff from Temuka and a pupil being rescued from a vehicle. The event was organised by pupil Phil Davis, the school's SAD Students Against Dangerous Driving representative. Davis says he came up with the idea for the mock accident to show fellow pupils the realities of a crash.
SAD tries to promote the effects of drink driving through not just big activities like this, but through small activities throughout the whole year.
The vehicle involved had belonged to a staff member's daughter who had been involved in an accident recently. Members of St John also attended the mock accident. At the completion of the rescue, school staff members and Temuka Volunteer Fire Brigade Chief Fire Officer Richard Webb spoke to pupils about driving safely. I'm Rachel Comer for the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we meet an eco-friendly Dunedin artist making plastic fantastic.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award-winning Garrador.
Loss of collagen is the reason for those fine lines and wrinkles. Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage all benefit from healthy collagen levels, the very foundation of structural health. Support collagen levels naturally with Collagen Plus by Silberhorn. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call now 0800 502 402.
How about these? Stretch moleskins by Lee Ryder. 7 colours, 2 leg lengths. Very comfortable, warm, extremely durable and only $79.90.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Atelier Jeu d'Esprit is, well, it's my playroom. In a lot of ways it's me. Things that I see as beautiful. The byline is whimsical trifles in fabulous fabrics.
The University of Otago. Usually the atmosphere is charged with the energy of student life. But this week is the week before exams.
Hey, Tane. Not now, man. I'm panicking.
Come on, mate. I know just what you need.
In here?
No. Is this it?
No. This is the place to ease your stress.
Hey, Tane. Fancy a little cuddle?
Autumn is here. Too late to sow grass seed, but never fear. Ready Lawn is here. Ready Lawn, your perfect all year round solution. Call Ready Lawn today.
Oakley's Bathroom Centre proudly brings you junior football from around Dunedin. Off the bar, Saturday 7pm, Sunday 1pm and Tuesday afternoon 3:30pm.
Welcome back. The New Zealand Transport Agency is warning of very cold temperatures which are forecast overnight in Southland, Otago and parts of Canterbury. Senior Network Manager of NZTA, John Jarvis, says Otago and Southland people should be ready for icy roads overnight and into Thursday morning. He says it's looking at being the coldest night of the year to date, with widespread very cold temperatures across the lower South Island. And the NZTA is taking the extra step of advising drivers to start work later in the day if possible. Mount Cook dropped to -9 last night, and temperatures as low as -7 degrees are forecast tonight for a number of inland areas. Dunedin artist Janet DeWatt loves plastic, but she's also getting behind Plastic Free July. Roselle LeBone took a tour of her plastic palace to find out how the artist is repurposing the materials to create something spectacular.
About 300 million tonnes of it is produced annually, and enough is thrown away each year to circle the earth 4 times.
Plastic itself has sort of got a bad name, but I actually think it's people, it's humans that should have the bad name rather than the material.
Artist Janet DeWatt has so much plastic, she's built her life and her house around it. All of it 100% recycled.
Ear tags for sheep. Now they're really historical for New Zealand because you know how they have the names of the farm on them. And you can actually have a whole plastics collection just by having different dice. If you want to get rid of some of your nice old historical plastic, just dump it at my house. I do try to, you know, to sort of curb my slight addiction to plastic.
Some of this plastic dates back to the mid-20th century. Much of it is sourced from overseas. All of it means something to its owner.
This is what they had. Britain, Scandinavia, the States, you name it.
Varg's plastic passion doesn't mean she won't join the campaigners across the world this month in looking at plastic-free solutions and denormalising single-use plastic items.
I am running workshops during July for Plastic Free July, so that to help people in their transition and the challenge of getting rid of the big four. So that's the big four are your reusable cups, your reusable bags, straws, which is a huge problem, and drink bottles.
I'll try and go to the op shops double the amount of time and spend double the amount of money getting more plastic for my collection.
The campaign is also calling on the government to introduce refundable deposits on all drink containers. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Around 300 arable farmers recently gathered at Lincoln University for the Foundation for Arable Research's annual conference with a focus on growing sustainable futures. And they're feeling optimistic. FAR Board Chairman and Canterbury cropping farmer David Burkett says he believes despite some challenging years, the industry has plenty to offer.
We think there's a lot of opportunities there for the arable industry, so it's making sure we utilise and maximise those opportunities. So I think there's still a good future, and a lot of that will be around our seed production.
The conference included discussions on genetic technology, including gene editing, crop disease management and biosecurity and future foods. Burkett says when it was first established, FAR's focus was on agronomy, or how to grow crops better. And while agronomy is still a major focus, attention's shifted to addressing climate change, regulations and a changing global market. And recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today, a 16-year-old Dunedin High School student's given international researchers a run for their money after having her work published in the Journal of Medical Ethics. The Lions left Queenstown today ahead of the third and final test against the All Blacks on Saturday, with English media questioning their pre-game holiday. And Dunedin home values are continuing the upward trend in value seen over the past 18 months, according to quotable Value NZ figures released today. Right, time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Dave Cannon, good evening.
Good, thanks. A couple of pretty important stories tomorrow on the front page. We've got some bad news potentially about the Dunedin Hospital rebuild being put back by several years, so we're still seeking some comment on that, but that's what we've been told, so it's a pretty important story, obviously. And also we're following up suggestions that there are some major job cuts coming to the University of Otago as well. So a couple of really heavy-hitting stories for the front page tomorrow. Some lighter news. The museum is spending $2.5 million on a new science centre down the centre, and which is good news. We've got a very nice story about a little girl in Queenstown who's defied the medical odds and is now skiing on the slopes up there, but she had a pretty rough start to life, so they're calling her a miracle baby, and it's a lovely story. The All Blacks are naming their test team tomorrow for that very important game against the Lions on Saturday night. We'll have the team in the paper tomorrow morning. And speaking of cold winters and cold temperatures, we're doing some more winter scenes in the wash column as well. We're getting a lot of those photos coming through from our readers showing some particularly cold winters, especially 1991, which was the granddaddy of them all. And speaking of daddies, we're also having a look back at one of Dunedin's most famous takeaway bars, Big Daddy's, and asking readers to tell us a wee bit about their memories of that institution.
Back in the Octagon, wasn't it?
Well, we're talking about the history of takeaway food in Dunedin. We had KFC and Pizza Hut the other day, but someone rang and said, well, you've left out the most important one.
That's right.
What about Big Daddy's?
Nice.
So we'll have a look at that tomorrow.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
It's tomorrow's ODT. All right, time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Sportsville.
And starting with today's southern view, taken of Dunedin and the Otago Harbour from near St Hilda's. All right, the situation, the current ridge of high pressure drifts away tomorrow and Friday, dragging a cold easterly airflow onto southern districts. And a weak trough passes over at the weekend with another very cold southwest airstream set to hit early next week. To the southern towns, and highs of 8 degrees all round here with fine days and light winds, with a frosty overnight. To the central outlook, and frosty night in store as well inland, with highs of 7 for Queenstown and Alexandra, fine days and highs of 8 for Wanaka and Te Anau. To the northern outlook, and Oamaru has a fine day, light winds and a high of 8. Omarama also gets to 8, Twizel fine and 8, and Timaru getting to 9. Dunedin tonight seems to escape the frost, an overnight low of 2, cloudy with northeasterly breezes overnight. Tomorrow, cloud breaking, sunny periods developing in the afternoon, cold northeasterly, a high of 7, and for Friday, mostly fine with cold northeast winds and a high of 8. Invercargill, and an overnight low of 0, freezing there tonight with a frosty morning in store. Tomorrow though fine, and it gets to double figures, just 10. And for Friday, high cloud increasing, mild and northerly winds, a high of 11 for Friday. And that's us for a Wednesday. You can keep up to date with the latest Southern Region news on YouTube, Facebook, and also channel39.co.nz. From all the South Tonight team, good night.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.